that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality.
What the fuck was that? I just loaded the game and suddenly he's talking to me. What the fuck? Whatever. It's a big monitor.
Looks like it's there so the performers can check how they look on screen.
No, not that.
I wonder how deep this sign is embedded.
What do we do at times like these?
Right, the X-ray. Wow,
That's because I've gathered all data from the scene.
the bottom part of the signboard is stuck pretty deep in there.
There's a bit of a curve at the tip. Kind of like a man's, you know what?
But have you ever seen one that was literally a sharpened point? I haven't.
Couldn't you have compared it to a fishhook or something?
Well, it won't come out easily. Whoever stuck it in probably didn't want it pulled out.
Of course not. A signboard would be useless unless it's standing.
It's useless unless it's standing?
Let's not go there.
No, that's not what I meant.
The signboard was stuck in the corpse, so it's hard to move. Are we not gonna address those other things?
Three things catch my attention.
So is this the bomb?
This is probably a
fuck.
fire starter.
What did that say? A mixture of potassium chloride, sulfur, and red phosphorus.
The fuse is coiled up and extends from there. By the way, the fuse includes an oxidizing agent, so it can continue to burn even inside the body. And finally, at the end of the fuse is a powder mixture of iron oxide and aluminum. This is a substance that causes a thermite reaction.
Okay. That did not look like thermite. That looked like he caught on fire. Thermite is pretty distinct when it goes off, you know?
When ignited, it creates heat of over 3,000 degrees Celsius and burns violently.
The presence of I guess I never really thought about this at the time, because there was obviously a bomb in him, right? Does kind of make it harder for it to have been, like, accidental time travel, doesn't it, you know? Like, oh yeah, he got ripped in half by dimensions. Well, the dimension probably didn't put a bomb in it, did it? In hindsight, this is obvious, but I don't know. I'm just kind of stupid sometimes. So I can see the back of the set. There's a bunch of mannequins there. Nothing else? Okay. Wait, why am I still in this? It's a camera. That body was shown to the entire world through this camera. It's an electric kettle
Maybe
here.
it's for having tea during breaks.
Okay. It's a seat for the quiz show contestants. Anything different with any of them? Okay.
The questions for the quiz also show up here too.
It's the podium used by the quiz show host.
These aren't good for much other than for show.
Great.
Like I mentioned yesterday, Jin's estimated time of death is 6 o'clock on February 9th. Based on the time his corpse appeared, it should be about 40 hours ago. Rigor mortis seems to be fading already. It's not completely gone yet, but the body has somewhat softened at this point. It should take more time to get to this stage if it's been on a rooftop in the winter. That's why I think this corpse was kept indoors, someplace warm.
So now... But I feel like I've looked at everything now, though. So,
It's a signboard.
Yeah.
Well, but... Now what? I guess I didn't look at all the cameras. So... You know... There's not really too much here.
What's this? Getting a better look at it. It looks like something tied to his waist. It's like a spider's thread.
How foolish I was,
Even thinner.
assuming that looking at the corpse would tell me everything about the corpse at once.
My analysis concludes that this is a CNT, or carbon nanotube. Graphene sheets with the thickness of a single carbon atom. These were rolled into a cylindrical shape to make these nanotubes. The diameter is about 0.4 nanometers. A single nanometer is 1/1000th of 1 meter, so it's not visible to the naked eye.
What? But I can see it.
That's because this thread is made by bundling multiple CNTs. I've also enhanced your vision so you'd be able to see it. By the way, CNTs are extremely durable. They're elastic and hard to break, and it's said that their theoretical maximum tensile strength is 50 times that of steel. Anyway, where is the other end of the CNT connected?
Oh.
That way. Over by that red lamp.
I see. So it was on the ceiling the whole time?
What's this?
It's the light switch.
The CNT is tied to it.
So you're telling me it was on the ceiling the whole time? No one looked up once?
Okay, it looks like we're pretty much done investigating here. Using the clues we've gathered so far, we should be able to solve the mystery.
You mean the mystery of how Jin's body appeared? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
The truth reenactment will allow you to find the truth with the information you have gathered. Answer Thomas' questions with the best answer. Only by correctly answering her questions will the truth be
Let's get on
reenacted.
that now. First thing, about that power outage when the body appeared. Was it really just a power outage?
I was wondering about that too. The lights came back on way too quickly. Plus, if the power did go out, the stream should have cut out at the same time.
So you're telling me no one even considered the possibility they just turned the lights off?
But the stream went on, no problem.
So it wasn't an outage. The lights were switched off.
So how did the lights get turned off?
I wonder, a true mystery.
I think I know what did it.
How did the lights get turned off? Probably with the light switch.
That's the switch that powers the light.
If I had to guess.
Yeah, let's not overthink this. Someone simply walked up and flipped this switch.
But no one was near the switch when the lights went out. Let's try to think of something else.
I mean, okay, it was the carbon wire. But I mean...
They were routed through the ceiling beams and
Oops,
onto
I
the
skipped
light
something
switch.
again. Bundle CNTs tied to the body. They were routed through the ceiling beams and onto the light switch.
But a dead body can't pull strings.
No, but it can fall. From the ceiling, I mean.
Now that you mention it, I thought I heard something hit the floor right after the lights went out.
Right, so question, where the fuck was the person?
The body fell from the ceiling and tugged on the CNT, which caused the light switch to turn off.
So on to the next question. The corpse was hidden up in the ceiling, right? Then how did it fall?
Oh, the rigor mortis softened. Of
The
course.
culprit used the mechanism of the body softening after rigor mortis. The body must have been placed up in the ceiling like a bridge between two beams. It would stay up there while the body is still stiff. But as time passes and rigor mortis lessens, the corpse softens.
This just unlocked a core memory for me for a different game. So, there's a series of games called Siren, right? And they're survival horror games. The main gimmick is that you can, like, look through other characters' eyes to see things. So you, like, look through the zombie's eyes so that you know where it is. There's one part in one of these games where you need to lure it's not really a zombie, but it's like the closest analogy. You need to lure a zombie away from somewhere because it's got a gun, so you can't really do much about that. The way you do this is by smashing a piggy bank. Problem is, if you smash it, he's obviously just going to come right to where you are since you smashed it. So what you do is you get a towel and you soak, or it might have just been a sheet. Either way, you soak it in water, then you freeze it. You hold it, but you then put it between two things, put the piggy bank on top of it, and then as it thaws out, the piggy bank falls, and then you can go past the gun zombie. And that's perhaps one of the most unintuitive puzzle solutions imaginable. But, you know, that's just how it be sometimes. That just reminded me of it.
And that's what made it fall down. Now, for the final question. Why did the body explode and burn?
Well, that can be explained by using the X-ray mode.
Indeed. I wonder if it was perhaps the chemicals.
Contraption set up inside the body. The ignition agent combusted from the impact of the body hitting the ground. The fire went up the coiled fuse and onto the substance that triggered a thermite reaction. The substance was eventually ignited.
I think
Huge explosion.
the most impressive part of this is the fact the body actually landed, like, on its side like this.
So that interval between the fall and explosion was because of the time it took for the fire to reach the end of the fuse. I get it. It was hard to find traces of that trick because it was such an analog method.
Alright, I think we're starting to figure things out here. So you can turn off this VR space now.
No, not yet. That was just a rehearsal. We still have the main show.
What do you mean?
We're recreating the culprit's actions.
Are you telling me to do that?
You're the only actor here, aren't you?
Actor?
So, I'm Tama, the director and camera operator. Now that I'm in the director's chair, I'm not going to tolerate shoddy acting. So keep that in mind.
Are we recording something?
Of course we are. We're testing a theory here, so we need to create something that can be viewed objectively.
I have no idea what you're going on about.
Shut your stupid mouth, you third-rate bit part actor!
Damn.
Are you too much of a moron to figure this out without the director having to tell you everything?
But
Just zip it and play the culprit. If we're doing this, we're going for the Academy Award.
Academy? Like the
Why'd she
nuts?
say that? Did you hear she quivered at the end of that sentence? What the fuck was that?
Enough! Let's get this started! Ready? Action!
Hi! I'm, the culprit who killed Jin.
No, with more feeling, Ryuki.
Now, prepare to witness an amazing show featuring this corpse.
Not only is your acting amateurish, but I don't even understand what kind of character you're trying to play here.
I am an amateur.
Well, this is just the beginning, so I'll give you a pass for now. Let's start with the positioning of the body. Where and how was it placed?
Well,
How? How are we supposed to know how it was placed up there? Presumably with a ladder.
it was right here. The body was placed so it was hung like a bridge between two beams.
You can place it like this because it was stiff from rigor mortis. So that's how they did the light trick.
Carbon nanotubes, CNT, were tied to the body. The CNT went up the beams and extended downward onto the light switch.
So it also, like, didn't have a single drop of blood left in the body either. Like, nothing gave this away. Nobody, like, stretched and looked up at the ceiling once or anything.
CNT is too thin to be seen with the naked eye, so no one noticed it.
I've got it all set up. Now I just need to wait for the rigor mortis to subside.
How's it even really attached to the switch?
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in character?
Boy! I sure hope the corpse gets softer soon. It needs to be soft and squishy. Like an octopus.
I'm gonna need you to stop.
This scene makes no sense. I'm cutting it out.
You made me do it.
And after time passed, rigor mortis began to subside.
The body falls, and the impact sets off the ignition agent inside it. The fire travels up the fuse line.
Soon after, a staff member turns on the lights.
Bam! A body appears, as if it teleported in out of nowhere. Sometime later, the burning fuse
Wait.
inside the body reaches the explosives.
You were assuming that it was a power outage the whole time, but you know somebody turned the light back on? Well then, how did you ever think it was a power outage if you know the guy turned the light back on? A staff member turned it back on. Well, surely you must have known then.
And that is the truth behind the corpse's sudden appearance and explosion.
Cut! Good work. I got some nice footage of the reenactment.
I still don't understand why the acting was necessary. All makes sense now. That corpse didn't teleport here after all.
Of course it didn't.
Well, but why is it, like, split apart at a molecular level? Was he killed with the carbon wire as well? Like, does that slice you at an atomic level?
Though the culprit obviously wanted it to seem that way.
Half of a body just suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Just like the Philadelphia experiment. Someone went through all that trouble to make it look like something strange occurred.
It's not very much like the Philadelphia experiment, though, was it?
I think they also wanted to draw as much attention as possible to that sign. All so they could spread that QR video.
The culprit must have wanted the body to fall during the live stream, right?
Well, obviously.
It would have been pointless otherwise. But could they really predict when rigor mortis would dissipate so accurately?
Well, but they were recording for a really long time that day, so they didn't need to be super precise about it.
The culprit didn't put the corpse up on the ceiling beams while it was completely stiff. It had to have been after the body had started to soften, just slightly. That way, they could estimate that the body would fall in a few hours or so. The stream was scheduled for a whole 6 hours. The culprit was fine as long as the body fell sometime during that period.
Why does the camera keep doing that?
Their goal was to make it seem like a supernatural phenomenon. That's why they couldn't leave the CNT on the scene.
Well, but the thing is also that, like, the other halves appeared in the future. So, like,
Because it would give away the trick?
you know, what's up with the other half then, you know?
Right.
So that's why they caused a thermite reaction and destroyed the CNT.
CNT is highly flammable carbon material. It doesn't stand a chance against 3,000 degree temperature, but it bonds with oxygen to create carbon dioxide, which helps extinguish the flame.
That body fell from the studio ceiling. If it fell sideways when it landed, the culprit's plans would have been ruined.
Yes, like you said, it would have been pointless unless the sign was standing erect. Just like a man's you-know-what.
Again with that joke? Besides, it is not useless when it's not erect.
I don't know.
Exactly.
What?
Yes.
There was another purpose to the sign. It's the same reason darts and rockets have tails.
Oh my fucking god.
I get it. The cut surface would naturally face the ground because of that sign. It was meant to control the body's posture as it fell.
Oh, it's like darts.
So, to wrap it all up, the culprit's motive was to make this seem like a supernatural phenomenon and to spread the QR video, right?
I don't know if that's all there is to it, but
I wonder why Jin was chosen.
Like, here's the thing. I wouldn't have even assumed it was like, if I had seen this without any prompting from the game, I wouldn't have assumed it was a supernatural phenomenon, you know? Like, the only reason I was going with the assumption was because people kept saying, oh, it must be ripped across dimensions or something, which is not really something a reasonable person would assume, is it? It's only because, like, 8 characters went, ooh, parallel dimensions, you know? I don't think that the staging it should necessarily... The staging doesn't necessarily make it look supernatural, it just looks like a weird trick, right?
who knows?
Just like how I don't know how a magician does their tricks, but at the same time, I know they're not actually performing magic.
Where could his left side be?
It hasn't been found yet.
Ah, well, I found it.
Anyway, starting our search for the people who might have the intel we need is #1 rule of investigation, right?
Like who?
Jin's right half was up in the studio ceiling the whole time we were shooting the show. There must be someone who knew about it, or at least noticed it.
Well, exactly.
You mean the director, Jinpei Wagai?
Right.
Where is he now?
Well, surely someone else could have noticed it. Though, the fact it was in the studio ahead of time indicates they have to have been a member of staff, right?
I've tracked him down using his smartphone GPS. He's in Akihabara right now, at the Maid Cafe Sunfish Pocket.
The villain.
Ah, shit.
Oh yeah, this isn't weird at all. Oh my god. Why would you do that? What could possibly motivate you to do that? That just makes you look so suspicious, and you're gonna make yourself even what? This is making another crime. Whoa. It's like, dog, you're just gonna make the situation worse for yourself if you commit another crime. Oh my god, he actually sees it. I'm like, dude, why?
Your gun in here? Are you insane?
Why would you do that? That just makes you look like the criminal. We could have been coming here for any reason.
There are customers and staff in here.
My bad.
An apology is not gonna cut it.
Several people have called the authorities. The local police should be here soon.
Hey, can't you just let me go?
No!
What?
I told you, my girl's pregnant, right? I can't go to jail.
Well, why did you shoot at somebody then, you stupid idiot?
That's why I accepted his offer in the first place.
Oh my god.
I needed money to take care of my kid.
Accepted whose offer?
Some guy named Terror. I don't know his real name. I haven't seen his face or heard his voice either. All my contact with him was through Nile.
What did he ask you to do?
He said,
I want to borrow your studio for an hour or so on the 10th before you start preparing for the stream. Do not let anyone near the studio during this time. That includes you. All you need to do is keep the entrance unlocked. That's all. I'll pay you 5 million. If everything goes well, I'll pay you on the night of the 11th.
so me and the staff haven't met this Terror guy at all. I don't know what happened in the studio either. I had no idea that was gonna happen.
So, like, I don't think you were even guilty of a crime. Until you started shooting at a police officer, I don't think you had ever committed an actual crime. Right? It's not like you knowingly did that ahead of time. But now you've definitely committed a crime. You'll get your money. Oh, sorry, I didn't actually read that part.
Class 3A at Sekiba High.
Ryuki!
Yeah.
He hadn't even done anything, really. But then he shot at a fucking police officer. What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh no. Oh.
The director of Horodori Institute of Genetics.
Well, that's not what I expected.
Chikara Horodori.
No way. It can't be.
Oh. Well. That was weird. Why'd they kill him?
Mr. Date told me about this shrine.
Oh, why'd they kill the first one as well, I guess,
This
right?
place
Yeah.
is so full of nature. Just like Yoyaki Park.
I know, it's revolting.
It's just calming here.
I see.
Tama, would you mind giving me some support?
What do you mean?
I've been thinking about Chikara's murder.
Are you sure you're okay, Ryuki?
What do you mean?
I feel like all of this has been taking a huge mental toll on you.
I'm fine. More importantly, can you recreate the crime scene for me? I just need to close my eyes, right?
Yeah, but... Fine. I'll play along. You are technically my master. I can't disobey your orders.
Thanks. Let's start then.
I can't believe he just started blasting, dude.
It's perfect. It's just like the real thing.
I learned how to do 3D modeling in a correspondence course.
Ma'am, I wish I could do something like that. Art courses are a lot of fucking money.
Back when I was a student, my grandma told me I should learn a skill set.
Right.
Chikara's right side. The cross-section is stuck right onto the blackboard.
What's the estimated time of death?
Based on the time the body was discovered, that would make it about 4 hours ago.
So, around 8 p.m. on February 11th.
Wait, 4 hours ago? Isn't it the day now?
Right around the time we were meeting with Tokiko.
Wasn't the sun out a second ago when we were at the shrine? What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Ryuki. This might freak you out, but there's something I have to tell you. Will you hear me out?
What?
The thing is, this corpse is so cowardly that it has no guts!
What?
I know. That was so bad, the joke was over before I even said it. But I just had to do it! I mean, look, the corpse is completely missing its guts! I couldn't let this chance pass me by.
Tama. The reason the corpse is on the blackboard is because it doesn't have internal organs anymore. The open space inside the body has a lower pressure than the outside. It's similar to how suction cups work. What the fuck? You're telling me he's just stuck to the wall like a fucking suction cup? That's fucking disgusting. Holy shit. Yeah, what do you mean 4 hours ago?
Satisfied? I checked the footage, but I didn't see anyone suspicious. Of course, that place is huge, so there are plenty of areas the security cameras don't cover.
Any cameras on campus?
None.
Really?
Do you remember what Gen said? The security at Sekiba High is completely lacking.
I guess that's true.
I think he was lying about the money. Terror probably wanted someone to find Chikara's body. Not necessarily.
Why are you doing this? You mean he wanted Shinpei to find it?
It might have been for the police. Terror might have predicted that someone from the police would contact Shinpei. That's my assumption. I can't think of any other suspects.
Just who is this Terror?
I wouldn't be having so much trouble if I knew that.
Yeah, do you think you could just, like, crack the case for me real quick?
It can't be Tokiko, can it? Tokiko was with me at Chikara's time of death.
Ah, sorry.
And she was in Okinawa during the incident with Jin.
Yeah, at the very least, it seems unlikely that she did it personally.
But something has been bothering me. I feel like Tokiko is involved somehow.
I mean, have you seen her design? Obviously.
Chikara was a member of NICE, and he knew about Bats 490. That's not all. The appearance of Jin's corpse was made to seem like a paranormal phenomenon, as if the same thing from the Philadelphia experiment had happened.
After all, we are living in nothing but a simulation. A false world created by a program.
So what, like she's ordering these deaths to be made, like she's ordering these killings to be staged in such a way to make it look like we're in a simulation?
Could she have done all this to give her claim credibility?
I don't know, but it's possible.
But, like, I know they don't know, obviously, we're in the past right now, but the question is, like, then what's going on with the fucking other half in the future still? Like, obviously Ryuki doesn't know about that right now, but...
Let's go see Tokiko.
Like... that still doesn't seem to have any kind of rational explanation.
I have to talk to her.
Understood. We've come this far. I'll back you up until you're satisfied.
I've been expecting you. I thought you would be arriving soon.
What do you mean?
I mean, I knew you would come see me.
Let's start with the boy.
As you know, this is the president's office at the NICE Japan branch.
The world is full of rubbish. Such things should all be washed away. That was my thinking when I designed this room.
You designed it.
Yes. The flow of water cleanses one's heart, just like the flow of time.
Yeah, it must be really fucking annoying just hearing this going the whole time you're here, though.
These aren't sunglasses.
What?
It's a fairy's black bra.
What a degenerate.
I mean...
Not really. She's a kind woman. But I obviously wouldn't tell you even if I did know something.
Well, that's not at all a suspicious thing to say, is it? I could assume that without you saying it. You saying it makes it look weird.
As her secretary, it's part of my job to protect her secrets.
I don't... Like, I'm pretty sure there's no kind of, like, confidentiality thing here, you know? Like, you probably should still report a crime. Yeah.
Mamoru is an excellent employee who faithfully fulfills his duties. I have complete trust in him.
I'm honored to hear that. I respect you from the bottom of my heart as well.
Gag.
Oh, I was pretty cringe.
No, I don't.
Then do you know about Terror?
I've heard that name on the news, yes. This is about the culprit, is it not?
Yes, but...
I have absolutely no idea who it could be. I'm sorry I can't help you, but...
I've solved the mystery, Miss Shigure. Jin's right half didn't teleport.
Left half, up for debate.
It was just made to seem that way. It should have been obvious when you think about it. Teleportation? It's impossible.
Well, yeah, but like so many of you started concluding this.
We live in a simulation? This is a fake world created by a program? Impossible. Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense.
My man. Yes, you're fucking right.
Just a ludicrous myth like UFOs, ghosts, and Kappa. I'm sure there are people who'd like to believe in these things, and there are groups who profit by making people believe.
It's definitely just a religion, and like, you know, here it is being practiced as a religion basically, which for the record is fine. I'm religious myself, but like, the people, I just can't stand the hypocrisy from people who fucking love the simulation theory. It's so infuriating.
Mr. Ryuki, it appears as though there's been some misunderstanding. We of Nyes have nothing to do with this.
Are you sure about that? All the pieces would fit together if Nyes is the one that made the QR video. The falsified paranormal phenomenon, what was written on the signboard, it all advances your agenda. Could it be that you wanted to spread the QR video by showing that sign along with the corpse on stream?
As I've told you, we are not the ones who made the QR video. What is the purpose of the QR video in the first place?
Excellent question, to be honest. It seems like the body, like the staging of the body is more important than the sign.
Are you saying there is some message urging people to join Nyes in it?
Yeah, to be honest, excellent point.
I know of the incident, of course. However...
Didn't it happen like within hours ago? How did you know?
Yes, I know you have an alibi. We were here, having a conversation during the time of Chikara Horadori's death. But that doesn't necessarily mean you're completely innocent. You are the president of Nyes. Surely you have plenty of subordinates who can do your bidding.
Are you implying I ordered someone to kill him?
It's a possibility.
And what would be my motive?
Well, I feel like we've been talking about that.
Well...
What do we mean, well? You already stated what the motive would be.
Remember what Tokiko said. Chikara Horadori is an avid believer in the Order of Percent. Their order and Nyes are heading in completely different directions.
Perhaps Nyes and the Order of Percent are hostile.
But, like, you already said a motive as well. Like, one was already established.
I see. You're suggesting there was a conflict between organizations.
There's also the advancing your agency's goals thing that we talked about.
It is true that Nyes and the Order of Percent have differing beliefs.
By the way, the Order of Percent, what the fuck, dude? That's what you called it?
However, we are not at odds with one another. Both organizations believe in the simulation theory. In that respect, we are comrades. We are living in a simulation, a false world. And from this false world, we seek emancipation. That is what Nyes...
Bad news, if we live in a simulation, we probably don't even have bodies, dude. So I don't know how you're hoping for that to play out. And like... who gives a shit, dude? It doesn't change anything.
On the other hand, the Order of Percent, we are living in a simulation, a false world. But they wish to remain imprisoned within it. Forever.
Forever?
Mr. Ryuki, have you ever played an open-world game where you play as a criminal?
A game that lets you rob, murder, blow things up, leave a trail of debris wherever you go. An absurd, heinous game where you can freely commit all sorts of horrible crimes.
I've never played anything like that, but I know what you mean.
Then you can understand. If this is a false world created by someone, then the Order of Percent believe they can do whatever they wish. To them, this place is a true utopia. A dream world where they're allowed to do anything they want with no real consequences.
That's why they want to live here forever?
Exactly.
Well, but... If you're not the one that made the simulation, it's nothing like that for you, though. The way you say that implies that they think they have control over everything in the order of percent, but like that can't be true. They didn't make the simulation.
I get it. That's why Chikara was researching immortality.
In theory, using Purge, even immortality is achievable. The ultimate dream that humanity has been yearning for thousands of years. It will soon become a reality.
I find this to be a leap. Like, oh, because we live in a simulation, they think they have control over the simulation, and that's why Chikara was researching immortality. You know, he could have just been researching immortality. It just seems a strange connection to draw when that's something that a scientist could very feasibly be trying to achieve anyway.
What do you think? Isn't that one?
I guess it doesn't really matter why he was doing it per se, the same thing is achieved. It just seems strange to connect those two things.
I am aware that Chikara was very particular about immortality. However, I will say one thing. One must not believe in eternal youth. Eternal youth is a lie. By the way, Mr. Ryuki, do you remember what you said earlier? Simulation theory is nothing but occult nonsense. That is clearly false. The simulation theory is not occult. It falls within the realm of science.
Oh, obviously, my friend, because, you know, simulation theory is something you can test in a lab, isn't it? It's very easy to prove this. There's math you can do. You know, you can grow the simulation theory in a beaker. What an absurd thing to say. It is exactly the same as a religion. You have to take it on faith. I don't want to rant about this again. But, like, it's not a provable thing. You have to take it on faith alone. Just like every other religion. And I don't care if they think of it as a religion. Okay? It's the hypocrisy. Like, it's this exact thing that bothers me so much. Because they're like, oh yes, the simulation theory is obviously very scientific. No, it fucking isn't. What about it makes it scientific? Because it involves computers? Again, it's not provable or disprovable in any way, just like every religion. It's ridiculous. It's a religion. It is not scientific. The only reason people think it's scientific is because people like Elon Musk think it's real. But like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, Elon Musk is not a scientist, he's very fucking stupid. Anyway, I want to rant about it again, but I can't stand this attitude.
In fact, many esteemed scientists have given serious thought to it.
Ah. Appeal to authority, of course. Yes, of course, that makes it very scientific, doesn't it? Yes, yes. Some smart people have thought about this thought experiment, so it must be scientific. What a fucking stupid thing to say.
The theory was originally proposed by a Swedish philosopher.
Oh, so not a scientist, I see. Oh, a philosopher. Interesting. Didn't know philosophers were scientists.
However, the concept has been around since long ago, even as far back as the days of Plato and Zhuangzi.
I don't think that is... You are definitely twisting things to come to that conclusion.
This world may be an illusion. At least, there is no way to prove it isn't an illusion.
That is not the same as saying the world is a simulation, though, is it?
There are great people throughout history who have held such ideas.
But there's no way to prove it is an illusion either, is there?
No, there is plenty of science.
Oh, she's gonna say the speed of light.
The holographic principle, theory of relativity, the measurement problem in quantum theory can also be considered proof.
How does that prove anything? I thought she was going to say the speed of light, because that's one of the things people always say about the simulation theory. Oh, the speed of light must exist because that's the processing power of the computer that we're in. Again, I still refuse to accept the premise. But even so, doesn't prove fucking anything, does it? Sure, that's a possible cause, but there's many more than just that, isn't there? The processing
Say this
speed
world
problem.
really is a simulation. Then that would mean a computer or something that's running the simulation exists somewhere, right? But it doesn't seem realistic that everything that happens in the universe could be derived by calculation.
Yes, you are right. However, there is no need to calculate every phenomenon, only what observers see and experience. Take the measurement problem in quantum theory.
Oh, this is fucking cool, actually. I love this one.
It explains the inexplicable phenomenon observed in the double-slit experiment.
This is super fucking cool. I love this experiment.
Quantum matter appears as particles when observed, and as waves when not observed. For the latter, its position cannot be specified because it exists as a stochastic wave. Therefore, it must be calculated and processed as the entire wave, and is impossible to reduce. The faster an object moves, or as the effects of gravity increase along with the increase in mass.
That wasn't really quite the explanation I've always heard, which is just that it's in multiple places at once, but as soon as you observe it, it's locked into one of the slits rather than being both. It's super fucking cool. That's a drastic simplification, though.
Time progresses slower, as I'm sure you know.
And that's related to processing speed?
Yes. When the load during calculation is increased, a phenomenon akin to a processing failure occurs. That is why nothing can exceed the speed of light.
There we go.
The calculation wouldn't be able to catch up if acceleration is infinite.
Let me explain the double slit experiment. Here we go. We shoot a ray of light toward a board with two slits with a screen behind it. This causes the rays to be distorted to look like stripes. This is because the light has the property of a wave. Then what would happen if we shot light molecules one at a time? The light molecules will show up as a dot on the screen, but by continuously doing this, the stripes reappear. Why is that? The light molecules are only being shot one by one, so the board shouldn't have an effect. The next part of this experiment was done using a detection device to see which slit the molecule went through. This causes the stripes to disappear and only two lines appeared on the screen. Isn't that interesting? When it's not being observed, they appear as a wave, but as soon as you try to observe it, they appear as lines. This is the gist of the detection problem in molecular theory. It is super cool, but I've never actually heard that one get connected to simulation theory before.
I see. Then let us leave it at that.
No, back it up. No, don't save. I definitely want to hear the rest. I didn't know she was gonna skip ahead. Fuck, how do I go back on that? Alright.
I'd like to ask you one thing. Beings that are far more intelligent and advanced than we humans. Do you believe a civilization of such beings exists anywhere in this world? And by this world, I mean all possible worlds in the entire universe, including those outside of our own.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, somewhere out there, probably.
I agree. Taking that into consideration, we're left with three possibilities. 1. Civilization hasn't reached a level of technology advanced enough to create a simulation that can't be distinguished from reality. 2. Civilization has reached a level of technology advanced enough to accomplish this, but it hasn't for some reason. 3. Civilization has reached that level of technology and has no strong reason not to use it. Therefore, they've proceeded with creating an intricate simulation. Which of these do you think is most likely?
Are you saying it's 3?
That is what a famous Swedish philosopher believed, at least. He further explains, that civilization must have run simulations millions or even trillions of times. In which case, it would make sense to believe our world would be included in one of those simulations.
You're saying it's far more likely that we're one of the countless simulated worlds, rather than a world that exists in the one and only reality. Do I have that right?
Yes.
As if there couldn't be more than one reality, you know. Additionally, the simulation in the real world may be a simulation itself, kind of like a Matryoshka doll. Just so you know, I'm not saying I believe the simulation theory. The simulation theory isn't too credible because of this Matryoshka aspect.
Even light cannot escape a black hole. I'm sure you've heard this before. Information is the same. It cannot escape a black hole. It's known that the amount of information trapped in this way is not derived from the volume of the black hole, but the surface area. Considering this, you can conclude that information in a three-dimensional space is stored in the boundary of its two-dimensional surface. In other words, all information stored in this universe is encoded in a single flat plane.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Just like a hologram. Regarding gravity and other physical processes, they can be completely accounted for through the laws of physics defined by the boundary surface. Let's take a character from an action game, for example. When that character falls, you may think he was pulled to the ground by gravity. However, gravity does not actually exist in the game world, only code that was written in the program. The character's body is merely made to show as if it fell based on its code.
You think this world is the same?
The holographic principle is not a theory. It is a principle. It has already been mathematically proven.
That's a nice
I see.
watch.
Then let us leave it at that.
Man, I hate this so much. I hate that I'm gonna have to be thinking.
There is no denying that the simulation theory is true.
Oh god, I hate it so much. Yes, obviously. Because the simulation theory is one explanation for these events, that must of course be the true explanation, obviously. It couldn't be any of the other possibilities.
But unlike Chikara, I have no interest in the concept of immortality, because my objective is to tear at the seams of this world and emancipate us all.
So how are you planning to do that, by the way?
So you mean dying?
No. Death and emancipation are completely different. I have no desire to commit suicide.
That was a really weird thing to say, Ryuki. Why? Surely, clearly, if that was the intent, she'd already be dead. Like, what the fuck?
Though I would be fine with dying at any time.
Because this world isn't real.
There is that, yes. However, there is another reason. If I wish to do so, I can resurrect myself.
Pardon me?
We are living in a false world created by a program. Therefore, if we can rewrite its code, we can create miracles, like reincarnation, or even bringing someone who has already passed back to life.
So, okay, you fucking horrifying psychopath. Same problem as the order of percent. You can't do that.
Has this woman lost it? Ryuki, you were right. There's clearly a lot of reasons to be suspicious of Tokiko.
Yeah. Let's check with Wingsync.
Like, how exactly do you intend to rewrite the code? Can you tell me how you do that? Surely you'd already be out if you could do that. Again, this is not suspicious, do not mind me.
I saw everything. If you don't do as I say, I'm sure you know where this is going.
What is this?
Looks like Tokiko is blackmailing someone.
What is it she saw?
I don't know. This is as far as we can get through Wingsync.
Then...
Yes, let's get a deeper look into her mind, using a regular sync.
I hate that this game is going to talk about simulation theory for hours. It makes me so mad.
Ryuki, just to confirm, you did get permission, right?
Yes, she accompanied me voluntarily and...
No, I meant from boss.
I haven't seen Boss. She wasn't in the control room.
It's fine. I'll be sure to talk to her later.
I don't think this is a good idea. Besides, you don't look so good, Ryuki.
I'm fine. So please, I need more leads to solve this case.
But you... Oh, fine. I'll help you for now, but I won't be held responsible. Deal? Look, Ryuki, please just don't cause any problems.
What?
You can only stay in Somnium for 6 minutes. I absolutely need you to follow this rule.
Yes, understood.
Okay then, let's begin.
I wonder if this is the nice president's room. It's really white, though.
Let's make an acronym poem with the letters for nice.
Do we have to?
Where the hell is this coming from?
N.
Okay. N. Not that I know why.
A.
A. Angry. I... Incoming?
X.
Shingu River Ray.
Not that I know why. Angry incoming Shingu River Ray. The Shingu River Ray. Such a kind animal.
Angered by humans polluting waterways, I guess.
I'm gonna have a fucking conniption.
Somnium scan, activate! This is such a quiet place. So empty and blank.
Maybe that's Tokiko's mental state. Pretty eccentric. Hopefully we can find something here.
Looks like we can only interact with that ripped up book.
Right. Let's investigate.
Alright.